What up guys, Kevin here again today. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and today guys, as you can tell from behind me, we're going to talk about identity. Now we're going to talk about how identity could be causing you to have a very anxiety-full or doubtful life that is causing you a lot of trauma. We're also going to talk about how when you change on an identity level is when you make the biggest changes in your life. Now I'm going to start off by quoting a quote that I read from a book, and the quote says, I'm going to just read it here from behind me. It is better to live your destiny imperfectly than to live in imitation of someone else's life with perfection. Okay? So, it is better to live your destiny, so your purpose, imperfectly than to basically live someone else's life perfectly, but it's someone else's life. Okay? Now I want you guys to let that sink in for a second. Okay? And think about that on identity. Majority of people nowadays are living many identities at a time. But there's nothing wrong with that, because we all do it. But let me just draw the big line in the difference here, is that identities are certain characteristics or masks or roles that we put on for a specific situation. When we go to work, we have a specific role. When we come home to our kids, to our wife, we have a specific role. When you go to the gym, you have a specific role. When you're by yourself, working on something, you have a specific role. Now, the problem is that when your identity becomes too far from who you truly remember you are, or you start to lose sight of who you are as a person, you start to play so many identity or characteristic roles, you put on so many masks, that you lose train of thought of who you are anymore, and you're putting on all these fake fronts, and the word fake means you're just putting them on at all times versus being your genuine self. Now you can be your genuine self at work, your genuine self with your wife, your genuine self with your kids, your genuine self with your friends, whatever, etc. versus being your fake self with those people. And the difference is having this fine line and having this awareness. So starting up with my first point on the board is going to be, don't get lost in the layers. So going back to this identity is, I don't want you guys to get lost in the layers of masks that you put on. A lot of people nowadays will use social media as a big example, is they get lost in the layers of social media. You see a girl on Instagram, right, butt pics 24/7, a lot of makeup on, or the guys posting pictures of all his fancy cars, all the fancy jewelry. There's nothing wrong with that. Point is that there's a level where it becomes wrong. There's a level on an identity shift on within themselves where they get so lost into this identity, this persona that you see on the superficial screen, that they can no longer be them true selves, because for the most part they're not. They're putting on this front for the likes, for the publicity, for the viewership, right? And then they feel this sense of loss or this accomplishment whenever they're not in this beautiful little Instagram post. They cannot be their genuine self. When they're hanging out with friends versus when they are with themselves in their room alone, they seem like they're completely different. Okay? I don't want you guys to get lost into that deep variable versus, let's say you're posting a video like I'm doing on YouTube. Of course I'm putting some type of characteristic and persona on, but I am being the most genuine version of myself, and that is what I strive to become. I'm not trying to put on some act. This is how I would speak if I'm in front of my friends. This is how I speak when I'm by myself. Yes, I talk to myself in the mirror. And this is how I am when I go to work. The point is I'm trying to be genuine. Of course, there's certain characteristics I put on. But the big difference is that I'm not getting lost into it. I'm not getting to the point where it's just like, you see some of these YouTubers where they put on a complete act. You see them in person, like, what the hell? It's a completely different person, right? And that's what I don't want you guys to get on. So the first thing is, do not get too lost in the layers or too lost into these identities. The second one we have here is, ask yourself why. So why am I acting like this, and how does this serve me? So back to the fake versus non-fake. Why am I putting this picture out there? Okay, now this why doesn't have to be something crazy reason. Maybe I want to show my progress of my body because I've worked hard for 5 months and I would like to inspire others. Pretty good why. I'm not here to label good or bad. The point is if it's coming from within yourself and you feel genuine, that's what matters. I'm posting a picture because I'm very self-conscious of myself and I just want to feel better by getting the likes. There's nothing wrong with that. Point is that if it makes you feel bad or dissatisfied if you don't go X amount of likes, then there's a problem there. Because the problem occurs when it is disharming your life. And that's what I want you guys to focus on. And then ask yourself, how is this serving me? So how is this picture, how is this way I'm acting with my friends, how is this certain way I approach my job serving me? Is it serving me in a good way? Is it doing a positive impact financially, emotionally, physically? Is it purposely? Or is it bringing me down? Is it making me feel more self-conscious about myself? Because I have to wear all this jewelry all the time and all this makeup, right? Is it enhancing my life? Or is it masking my life to try to make it seem like I'm enhancing? These are very fine line, different deviations that you want to pay attention to that will make the difference. Now the third and last one I have on this board, guys, is break down what you currently identify with, okay? So ask yourself right now, what are my certain, so like what do you do on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis? Okay, I go to work, I hang out with these friends, I go to one event, I train, whatever you do, I go there. Like, write these down and write the roles that you are playing at these times. Okay? Obviously, like I said in the beginning, when you go to work, you have to put on a specific type of front because you're at work, you're more professional. When you're with your kids, you're not professional. You're like a father figure, you're more relaxed, you're more fun. Or maybe you're not, right? What are you putting on? And ask yourself, right? How is this serving me, like I said before? And ask yourself, the more important question is that, where am I going from here, okay? If I'm going to be a specific way, you need to break down this current form, this current identity of yourself. Let's say you're a smoker, this is a big one. And you identify yourself as, I'm a smoker, I have lung problems, I'm not in shape, right? And you want to try to quit smoking. Well, because you identify with smoking, you identify with this lifestyle, you trying to quit, what's going to happen is that you're trying to quit something that you still are. You're kind of just like, yeah, I'm just going to stop smoking, but I'm still a smoker, so this is very difficult. Versus like, listen, I'm a healthy person now, I take care of myself, my mind comes first, my family comes first, the way I feel comes first, my nutrition comes first. There's no chance you're going to smoke. It's 10 times more likely you're going to stay on path with that identity if you do that. Same thing with a specific persona. Okay, I am a person that wants to feel good at all times and do things for myself. When I make a post on Instagram, right, when I'm hanging out with friends, I'm going to be my genuine self. Why? Because the number one thing that matters to me is the way I feel, is the way I act, is the way I can be genuine to others, and they will be able to reflect that back to me. If they can't, that is fine. But these are questions you need to ask yourself, guys, because the whole fake versus real thing is a big fine line that a lot of people sometimes get so lost in it they can't even pay attention to the difference, but they feel a void, they feel a sense of disappointment within themselves. No matter what they achieve externally, internally, there's always something that they're lacking. Alright guys, so I want you guys to question yourself on an identity level. This is kind of like a lifestyle, a systemic thing, something that you live, you breathe on a day-to-day basis. And ask yourself, what exactly brought me here? How did I get here? Why am I doing this? How is this serving me? Right? And break it down step by step. Okay guys? I hope this video helped you guys out. If it did help you guys out and you have any comments, make sure you comment below. Smash the like button if you guys like this video, and of course subscribe because there'll be new videos every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Other than that, guys, seek greatness, the greatest version of yourself. Like I always say, stay tuned until next time, and peace.